All right, let's jump right into a fantastic book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Today, we're going to unpack this idea that when it comes to money, our behavior is way more important than our brains.
We've all been there, right? That little knot in your stomach when you think about your finances. We're going to explore the psychology behind those feelings, and trust me, they matter a whole lot more than you probably think. So, first things first, let's start by totally busting the single biggest misunderstanding that most of us have about building wealth. And this, right here, is the core idea of the entire book. See, we're often taught that finance is some kind of hard science, like physics, with all these complicated formulas. But the truth? It's really a soft skill. It's about how you act, and that's way more important than what you know. And this brings us to the main event, the central theme of this whole discussion. Your actions, what you do day in and day out, will always be sheer intellect when it comes to your money. Look, here's the thing. You could be an absolute genius, have a PhD in finance, know all the theories, but if you totally panic when the market dips and you sell everything, you're gonna lose. Meanwhile, someone with just average financial knowledge who keeps their cool and stays consistent, they can actually win in the long run. It really is all about how you behave.
I mean, just take Warren Buffett. Of course, the guy's brilliant. No one's arguing that. But his real financial superpower isn't some secret investing formula. It's his temperament. It's his unbelievable decades-long patience, just letting compound interest do its quiet, magical work. And, our behavior with money is so deeply connected to our own unique life experiences. Think about it. If you became an adult during a huge stock market boom, you're probably going to see investing very differently from someone who started their career during a big recession. Those early experiences just get locked in, and they can steer our decisions for the rest of our lives, for better or for worse. Now, this intense focus on behavior leads to a really common trap that almost all of us fall into. We get confused between what we can see people spending and what actual wealth is.
You know what I'm talking about. We see somebody with a super fancy car or a massive house, and we automatically think, wow, they must be loaded. But what we're actually seeing is just their spending. Real wealth is the stuff you don't see. It's the money that wasn't spent. It's the investments just sitting in a portfolio, the savings in an account. It's that financial freedom you can't see. And this story just illustrates that point perfectly.
On one side, you've got Ronald Read. He was a janitor. He lived a simple life, invested what he could, and very quietly built up an $8 million fortune. And on the other side, Richard Fuson, a top-tier finance executive who lived this huge, lavish lifestyle and ended up bankrupt. It proves it's not about what you earn, it's about what you do with what you've got.
So, okay, if it's all about behavior, how do we actually make better decisions? Well, this leads us to a really subtle but incredibly powerful idea. Finance experts love to talk about making rational decisions, the ones that are mathematically perfect on paper. But Housel argues we should aim for reasonable decisions instead. A reasonable decision is simply one you can actually stick with for the long haul because it feels right to you and it lets you sleep at night. For instance, is paying off your mortgage early the most rational move you can make? Well, maybe not. The math might tell you that you'd earn a higher return by investing that money instead. But if being totally debt-free gives you an incredible sense of security and peace of mind, then that makes it a wonderfully reasonable decision for you. It's a strategy you can actually live with.
And all of this, it all builds up to one final and maybe the most important question of all. What's the real point of having money anyway? What are we even doing all this for?
It's not about buying more stuff. According to Housel, the absolute highest form of wealth, the ultimate reward money can give you, is control over your own time. It's the freedom to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That's it. That's the end game. It's not a bigger house or a faster car. It's independence. It's having the ability to make choices about your own life without money forcing your hand. Now that is true wealth.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's just circle right back to that central theme. This one sentence really captures the entire philosophy. Getting a handle on your own psychology is so much more valuable than mastering a spreadsheet or analyzing the market.
So what does all this mean for you right now? It means that the perfect strategy you read about in a book is completely worthless if you can't actually stick to it when things get tough. The best plan in the world is the one that actually fits your personality, the one you can truly commit to for years and years. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. Forget all the complex theories for just a minute. What is the one simple, positive financial behavior that you know deep down you can stick with starting today? Because that right there is where real wealth actually begins.